privilege to test some of the recipes from the Ultimate Guide to Liquid Soap Making by Ashley Greene. Now this recipe that I'm doing today is free on the website, and so just follow along as we go along. I'm not going to tell you any of the ingredients. You have to go to the website to get this recipe. So let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to measure out my oils. And the first oil that I'm going to measure is my castor oil. So let's measure out some castor oil. Now, castor oil is particularly nice in liquid soap because it provides a dense, creamy lather. It's nice for perfect. It's really nice for shampoo formulations if your hair isn't particularly sensitive to basic formulas like mine, because it just feels so good. It's so rich and so creamy. The next ingredient is cocoa butter. Now I'm going to be using rich, natural, crude cocoa butter, and I got mine from Wendy Point in Calgary. You can also get it from my wholesaler, which is Cocoa Supply, and they've got some really great deals too. So in between your oils, just zero off and measure your next set like so. Now this is for me, so I'm going to put on gloves when I start messing with the chemicals, but for right now we're just going to have some fun getting messy with the cocoa butter, because awesome. Cocoa butter smells amazing, and I love getting it all over my digits. Okay, there we go. Just a wee bit off, so I'm just going to take some of the, there, that's better. That's where we need to be. All right, the next ingredient we need for large, fluffy bubbles, and that's cocoa butter. And coconut oil, sorry. And the best place to get your coconut oil is from Costco, and I'm going to be using the virgin coconut oil. And we are going to scoop some over here in the proper amount according to Ashley's recipe. Just Now this, from start to finish, should take about 10 minutes once we've measured everything out. Oops. And nearly there. I love the smell of this stuff. Oof. It is totally amazing. Now, my number one upload is cold process liquid soap. This is very similar to that recipe. However, we're going to be working with the heat that's generated from the reaction of the sodium and potassium hydroxides. And so we're going to be working at a bit of a higher temperature because we want this fast, right? Fast. All right, next ingredient, olive oil. Okay, this bottle is open. Again, Costco is a great place to get your olive oil. Alright, so that's finished. Our oils are measured. Next, we're going to measure our water. Alright, so we're going to measure out our water. You get too much, take some away. Oops. Boy, it just doesn't want to measure it today. Let's see if we're there finally. Woohoo! Perfection! All right. Now the last thing we have to measure out is our sodium hydroxide and our potassium hydroxide. And I'm going to use a recyclable container for that. Here's my recyclable container. It's just a sour cream container that's been cleaned. And my other buckets are used specifically for soap making, so I'm not worried about them. So let's tear our scale and start measuring out. First, the sodium hydroxide. Very little. Now, as you know, sodium hydroxide, if you're a soap maker, as you know, sodium hydroxide is what we used for making our solid bars of soap. It's used in cold process soap making and hot process soap making. I'm just going to use a little bit. Now the next thing we're going to use is potassium hydroxide, and I do measure them together. Let's zero that. And this is from Brambleberry, I believe. Stop right there. Alrighty. Now, the process of liquid soap is a high temperature process today instead of a cold temperature. Now, my cold process liquid soap, I would just bring everything to room temperature, mix them, and then play the waiting game. All right, so we're going to put this aside for another project. Put this aside. We're going to measure. We're going to go ahead and add our sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide to the water. Now you're going to have to watch out for fumes, and this is going to be quite noisy. So as it heats up, it's going to crackle and make some interesting sounds. Now for this, we're going to use a heated glycerin. And some sodium lactate after the trace. Okay. We've got our hot oils. I'm going to pour them into this bigger container because we're going to have quite a bit of volcanoing going on during the cook. It's going to go through all the phases. just like your cold process soap or your hot process countertop soap. Oh, that smells like candy. I've got so many good ideas for this project. I just can't wait to create with it. Alrighty. So as soon as we've mixed everything, we'll start the timer and we'll see if it is indeed a 10-minute process, cook process. I think the most time you'll spend is gathering and measuring your ingredients. You can also add a sugar water solution, but I'm going to add it after the cook and when it's starting to cool down so that it doesn't darken the paste. All right, so I've got my hot oils here, and we're going to slowly pour my hot lye solution, mixed lye, into here. It's quite hot, it almost melts it. I have never had that happen before. I'm not sure what was going on there. I'm going to have to switch to a different method for my lye. Different containers for the next time we do this. All right, so I'm just going to blend and see where we go. It's heat and agitation that gets the process moving faster. So we're going to do this for approximately 10 minutes or until it thickens up or it starts to volcano. We'll stop.
It looks hot.
It's very hot.
Is that because you had it in the microwave? Or?
Yes, I put it in the microwave.
Yeah, no,
So we are nearly at soap.
How do you thicken it?
We thicken it. This one, actually, you don't need to thicken it because you've used a dual lye. But I do have, if I want to dilute it past recommended, like I could do a 50-50 and still use thickeners. Like Crowthix, it's a special thickener just for soap. It's awesome stuff. So we are nearing Vaseline. Very soft mashed potatoes, isn't that awesome? I'm just gonna cover this up so we don't lose all that heat. What is it with cellophane? It always shrinks when you stick it on. And technically, we're done at this point. I have my soap paste. All I have to do is test it, which I will. Here is the paste. It is now soap. It didn't actually take more than 10 minutes. And as you saw, all I needed to do was heat it up when it wasn't pushing through. So it wasn't quite hot enough at that point. We've got a nice clear base. You can add glycerin to it for more clarity and fluidity. I think I'm going to save that glycerin for later, and we'll see if we want to add it or not. All right, so come back on December 1st and we will create something beautiful with this marvelous liquid soap. Countertop liquid soap in 10 minutes. Isn't that exciting? Okay, while I was doing my soapy dishes, I thought I'd just give you a little quick lather test.